Mr. Rager, Mr. Rager, tell me where you're going. Tell me why the fuck you're losing. What's up, everybody? Eric, also known as Chard here with the 302 Birds post-game show. And I swear to God, it seems like this year and last year, the Phillies just hate playing at Coors Field, dude. Like, last year, Harper got ejected, benches cleared, just didn't win the series. This year, they just couldn't hit. Again, Harper got ejected. Just umpires sucked. Like, it was just horrible. But Phillies lose today 5-2. I'm not really mad. I said it a couple of days ago that I didn't think they were going to win this series just because we were too hot at the moment. It's baseball. There's so many games in a year. It's going to happen. As long as they can bounce back tomorrow, we'll see what happens. But I have Dalt on with me tonight, rocking the City Connect. He finally caved in.
I finally invested some of my hard-earned dough, and it wasn't even my hard-earned dough. Shout out to my dad. We were at the stadium, and he's like, I know you won't buy it for yourself. I know you like the hat, so if you want, you can get the hat. I got an awesome Phillies golf shirt, too, but yes, finally the hat. And you know what's really funny? So I don't know, real quick side note, one of the positives of this unfortunate series this weekend is when the Phillies were away, look who was home. I got to meet the Crucker. I got to meet John Kruk yesterday.
He's so dope. I met him at the City Connect reveal. He's such a nice guy.
So I had this on, right? And like he was having a problem with his legs, so that's why you see the chair behind us.
Right.
Not that he's old or anything. Love you, John Kruk, if you're watching. But
he also has testicular cancer.
I didn't even know that. So
I don't know if he still has it or if he got over it.
Hopefully he got over it. But anyway, he was sitting down in this chair chilling. And I could tell he was up, down. People were getting pictures. And I was going to just sit next to him for the photo so he didn't have to get up. He got up. I shook his hand. I said, hey, it's a pleasure to meet you. You didn't have to get up. He goes, no worries, man. Thank you for coming out today. We got our photo. And then, you don't want to hold up the line and be that guy. And he looks at me and, it's always cool when they have a conversation with you celebrities. And he's like, what do you think of the City Connects? Like, love the hats, hate the jerseys. And then he gives me like a rundown of each jersey piece. He goes, love the hats. I'm okay with the jerseys. Hate the pants. And like, that was it. That was that. And I don't want to go off on a tangent too much. It's just funny to, usually most of the Phillies, like, because John Kruk is the voice of the Phillies now in a way with T-Mac. So usually you would expect those guys to be a little bit more reserved, not give their opinion. Nope. Leave it to Krucker to, let it all hang out. So I love John. It was a pleasure.
I miss Kruk, dude. I miss him. I don't like Rubian or however you say his name. He's okay. I prefer Kruk. I'm just rocking the Finally Friday baseball tees. Get that in the bonfire link. One of the old school tees. So, but getting into the show, I'm so sad. I'm so sad, and I say that lightly because Ranger is my favorite pitcher, and it sucks that he got his first loss, dude. He just looked off today, and I don't know what it was. I know last night we didn't have a show because it was late as fuck by the time they got done.
I get it, yeah.
But even Stubbs said last night that it's hard to pitch there because the elevation, it just messes you up. Like, I don't know if you've traveled, but I've traveled before where the farthest I've traveled west is to Missouri. And, going from the elevation from Delaware to Missouri, you kind of have to take a little bit to get used to it. Granted, Missouri's just kind of flat and whatnot, but they do have a higher elevation because they're in the middle of the country. I think that's what it was just they could not get used to the elevation. Nola looked off, Ranger looked off. Who pitched on Friday? Was it Sanchez, I think? Even Sanchez looked off. Ranger Suarez tonight went 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned runs, 1 home run. He had 4 walks in 1 inning, which was really freaking weird. He still had 9 strikeouts, though, which is surprising, and his ERA is still sub-2. I mean, it's 1.75, so, the guy's still sub-2, which is amazing. So, I mean, I can't, fault him there because this is, one rare game out of, however many he's going to play this season. But, I mean, it still sucks. I mean, I love Ranger, dude. I love the dude. He's one of the best in the starting 3.
Yeah, he's been fantastic all year. And, as a betting man, I love him too, because Ranger Suarez, like you, is one of my favorite Phillies pitchers to watch. I think the dude is just extremely humble, carries himself in a great way. How do you not love the guy? You know what I mean? It's one of those things. But you almost sometimes need those losses. They get it out of the way early, not often, but early. So I do like that, it happened now. And it also happened against the team that we know we're better than. You know what I mean? Like the series sweep. We already swept the Rockies. It wasn't like, we lose to a team that we're going to go back and be like, that one really, like, it's like, all right, shake it off and keep on moving. These guys are the least of our worries.
Yeah,
So,
and I mean, like, trying to run down the list of everybody that I can think of. The Dodgers got swept by the Reds. They're a good team. The Braves, they're a good team. They lost to the Pirates. And then I mean, we lost to the Rockies. So I mean, like David said here, we're fine. It was just a bad series. Shit happens. I mean, I can't fault this team. I just hope that it's not. Let me back up. So my hope is that this team is different from last year's team, where last year's team kind of just looked at the losses and they were like, okay, we're going to get better, and never did. I hope that they look at this loss and they're like, you know what? We're the best team in baseball. We need to go out there and show people that we're the best in baseball. And, you know, come out swinging against the Giants. But again, we'll see what happens. Walker pitches tomorrow. We all know how Dalton and I feel about Walker. So we'll see what happens.
yeah. I don't know much about Phillies pitching, guys, but I'll say this. Shard, I won't speak for you on Sanchez. Not a Sanchez guy over here. But when it comes to Walker, whoo, don't even get me started. But I think that, like David said as well, I love this comment. It's like a wake-up call. Sometimes you need them. You're not going to be perfect in a sport like baseball. So like I said earlier, thank God it's to the Rockies. It's to a team like Colorado. Joey, we appreciate you for joining, man. Thank you. Hope everybody's having a good Memorial Day. But yeah, it sucks. Shake it off. Keep moving on. And I think, if this starts to become a consistent thing in June, then people can start to care about it more. But until it is, and it's also like 3-2. You know what I mean? That was the final score today. I can't see the live.
5-2.
5-2. All right. That's a little different of a story. Never mind. But yeah, dyslexia in full effect. But I think Ranger will also bounce back. Ranger Suarez is not the kind of player that he lets things get in his head. He's very much a shake it off player. I think he'll just keep on his Cy Young tear. He's going to be that guy that's like the horse number, like if it's a horse race, he's going to be horse number 3 throughout the whole race. And then at the end of the year, I think he's going to get some gas and he could surprise some of you guys like me who took that. I took him at plus 1,000, I think it was, for the Cy Young Award. So Ranger, please make me proud, brother. You're my favorite pitcher, and it would be awesome to win some dough on you too.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw. I don't know how much of the game you watched, but like there was one part during the game where he pitched, and the guy hit it, and it came right at his face, and like the last second he dodged the ball, and Stott was like right behind him and dove and caught it, and Ranger's just laying there on the ground, and I've never seen Ranger like. I almost want to say he lost his composure because he was just laying there for a second. He was like, fuck, man. Like that ball was like this close to my face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Walker pitches tomorrow. And the thing with Walker, even though he sucks, is he always gets the run support behind him. Always. Like, I think he's 4-0 this season. Taiwan Walker stats. Pretty sure he's 4-0. Yeah, he's 4-0. So I mean, like he gets the run support behind him, or sorry, 3-0. So he gets the run support. So whatever. But going into our next topic, the hitting was cold, super ice cold, and I mean, they showed a graphic. What was it? Yesterday's game where Sosa had hit a ball to the warning track, and they were like, "Oh well, if they didn't have wind, it would have been a home run." And you know. He got the ball out, but the wind caught it back. And I'm like, nobody wants to see that shit. Like, that's just going to piss us off. Like, they were making contact with the ball really well. But again, they're playing in the mountains. The wind sucks. the wind just wasn't on our side this series. I can't talk today, don't. I don't know what it is. But yeah, it sucks. But like Benny said here, Benny, appreciate you tuning in. I agree with you, Benny. I think the Harper ejection set the tone for the series. Like I said earlier, last year when Harper got ejected, they couldn't find their mojo. And I think anytime Harper gets ejected, or anybody gets ejected on the team, it kind of throws off the vibes for everybody else.
And like Jordan said as well, it's an embarrassing series. You only win one out of them, but it's a series. That's the nice thing about baseball is there's 160 games. So you move on, you keep it moving. And it sucks. The Phillies, yeah, they never usually do good at Coors Field. So maybe it does have something to do with that elevation, like you're saying, Shard. But you move on. The problem is like when the whole team goes cold. That's a little bit of a red flag. Stubby's birthday today. Did he bat at all today? I didn't get to see.
No, he played yesterday. He had not a walk. I guess it can be considered a walk-off if Harper didn't get that 3-run home run. But he did have a hit last night. And I want to bring this up because this is a good comment, Joey. I do think Stubbs behind the plate has a different effect, and Brendan and I have talked about this on the show before. I don't think Stubbs is able to command the pitches as well as JT does. Granted, JT was behind the plate today, and even with JT, I mean, they kind of had a struggle today. But again, like Stubbs said last night, it's hard as fuck to pitch at Coors Field. I mean, like, you got the wind, you got the elevation, you got all the factors against you. It is what it is. I mean, I like Stubbs. I don't know how much longer he'll be here per se, just because even though he's a good backup catcher, I don't think he's able to produce kind of what they want on the offensive side. But again, he is a backup, so I don't know really how much they look at that. I know that there is a catcher, I think, in a rehab assignment with AA or AAA in Lehigh. So I think they're going to bring him up when he's ready. I could be wrong, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. With JT, you got to give the guy some time to rest, but JT's definitely the best catcher in baseball. I said it, I think, the other night on the show when it was me and Brendan, but JT, I wouldn't say is the most underrated catcher in baseball, but definitely the most underappreciated. I think it's just hard because like the Phillies have so many good players. You know what I mean? You want to show love to all of them. You want to appreciate all of them. It's hard being a kid too, going into that store, having to figure out what player do I resonate with the most that I want to buy a Phillies jersey. And unfortunately, not a lot of the time that answers JT. So I think JT is a guy that needs a little bit more love. I think my next Phillies jersey is going to be a JT jersey, is what I've decided. I was talking about it with Jack because Jack has had the JT jersey now for 2 years, and catcher is such a valuable position. But I like Haven's comment as well about the effect on pitcher because pitcher's such a mental position too. Just knowing that you have that guy there at all times is mentally going to put you at rest in a certain way. You're going to play a different game in any sport. So
I think JT is just in my opinion, he's such a badass just with the amount of balls he takes to the balls. so I mean, like, there's just lately, I mean, it just seems like he's getting hit all over like his thighs, his groin area.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's a tough guy, and everybody in Philly loves him. So
JT.
So yeah, but keeping on with the depressing train, Phillies lose. Choo-choo. The Phillies lose this series. The Rockies take 2 of 3. I guess looking on the good side, this is our first series loss since we lost to the Reds in the beginning of April. So it's been, I mean, almost, what is that? A month and a half, almost 2 months since we've lost the series. Because, I mean, it's May 26th now. We're almost to June 1st. So, I mean, shit sucks. They lost. We haven't lost since the Reds. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm kind of upset, though, that it's against a bum team like the Rockies because the Rockies just suck. But whatever.
It's ass. I mean, it's depressing. It sucks, but you keep moving. And like I always say this when you lose to a bad team, and especially a sport like baseball in a series, right? Thank God you lose to this team rather than a very good team because you'll move and you lose 2-1. It's not like you got swept. You keep moving. You know in your heart that you're better than the Rockies when you get there.
Yeah,
So
Jordan. I think we do.
yeah,
If you're looking at the entire season, because I don't think we play the Rockies again until 2025. Season wise, yes, because we swept them and then they won 2, so that would be what, 4-2. So yeah, we won the season series, so sure, we'll take it.
did our job for the year. Did our job for the year against them 4-2. If you would have said that in the beginning of the year, 4-2, I think is pretty good. If you go to 4-2 against every team throughout the year, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to cut you off, though.
You're all good. No worries.
But yeah, I just think that it's more so irritating that we lost against a team that is as bad as the Rockies.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, and I was looking at it all weekend, the Braves also lost their series against, the Pirates. The Dodgers got swept by the Reds. Those are two really hot teams. Um, you know, I think the only other two teams that are hot right now are the Orioles. I don't think they lost their series. And I think the Yankees, I want to say the Yankees swept. I could be wrong. They're really hot right now. They had like 4 home runs back to back the other night. So that's like the only team right now that I think I'm more so worried to face is the Yankees. But we'll see what happens. But that's kind of a shorter topic. And the last thing we have is kind of looking ahead. So pulling up the Phillies schedule here. And I'll pull it up on screen for everybody to see.
Thank you.
We do play the Giants next, so we're still on the West Coast.
Sweep them again, baby.
Not really. Oh, I lied. So tomorrow's a 5:05 game. I didn't think there was going to be a late game, but Tuesday looks like it's late. It's 9:45. Then on Wednesday, it's another kind of weird time. It's 3:45. I'll be at home in time to watch it. And then Thursday is an off day. Then they come back and play the Cardinals. I think I'm going to try to go to this Cardinals series. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Let me know what game you want to go to because maybe I'll go with you if you want.
I don't know if I might skip out on the Cardinal series actually because I'm looking here. They do play the Brewers after that, and Reese. I don't think that Reese is back. I think he's still out. I'm gonna look at here. Y'all can see my screen. I think he's still out. Yeah, he's still out. He's not playing. So yeah, status injured 10 days. So he's still on the injured reserve list. So if he's not back in time for this Brewers series, then I might go to the Cardinal series. But if he is back, I'll save my money and go to the Brewers because I do want to welcome back Reese. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Jordan, if you're going, dude, you got to hit us up. You got to hit us up.
That'll be a lot of fun to see you, Dobbins. Hope all is well, man. If tickets are available, yeah, I think they should be. Use TickPick, bro. Use TickPick.
Yeah, use TickPick. I think going in this stretch, I mean, it can go either way at this point. I think the Phillies are more than well equipped to take these wins. We're 6. If we would have won today, it would have been 7. We're 6 games up right now on the Braves. So as long as they can keep this train rolling, I think they're in a good spot to take the division. Unfortunately, I don't like wishing injury on any team. Ronald Acuna went down today with a ghost injury. He was trying to steal, I think, from second to third, and he went down. Kind of similar to the Reese thing, if I'm not mistaken, where Reese kind of had like a ghost injury. Again, I don't like wishing injury on anybody, but at the same time, being a realistic fan, I mean, it does help us. I can't not say that.
Nope. If LeBron goes down, I totally get it. I always used to say that as a kid. When a player value goes out, there's nothing wrong with saying that. You know what I mean? I never wish that on anyone. Sorry, I was trying to bring us full screen. But yeah, you're 100% right. I would never wish that on anybody, dude. But like, think about it from like an Eagles perspective. I fucking say it all the time. Dak Prescott goes out, CeeDee Lamb. I'm not before the game. I want you to have your ACL torn. You know, there's fans like that in Philly. We're not those guys, but we are the realistic fan that, hey, if an injury happens, this benefits my team. It is what it is. So you're right, dude. I don't disagree with that at all.
Right. I mean, like, again, Ronald Acuna is one of the best players in the league. It sucks seeing him go out. You know, I don't. Here's my thing with Braves fans. We like to talk shit on each other, but at the end of the day, it's all one big game. I mean, like, again, I don't like to see anybody get injured. It sucks, but will happen. Update on Trey, though. He was complaining today about more soreness, so we'll see what happens with that. I think Sosa's been hot in his place. You know, Sosa's been hitting and producing, so he has one of the best hitting averages right now in the league. So we'll see what happens. But that's kind of all I have for you. That's kind of all I think Dalt has for you tonight on the show. Phillies lose 5-2. They come back tomorrow at 5:40, I think, tomorrow. 5:05 tomorrow. So one of those like weird times. So we'll see what happens. I think they're going to bounce back.
Yeah, I hope so. I sure should hope so because I need to make another video with another broom at some point soon. I have a fire pit out back that I got off Amazon for like $30. And I'm really hoping that I can print out one of these team logos, light it on fire, and run with that for a video. So stay tuned.
Yeah, but before we go, the one thing I do want to say, the Phillies versus the Mets series is coming up, I believe, in 11 days, something like that. It was 2 weeks from Saturday, so 13 days. If you guys want to watch it, Brendan and I did an interview with UK Phillies yesterday. It is on the channel. It was a really good interview, really insightful. He gave a lot of tips on if any of you are going over to UK, where to go. He gave his insight on what he thinks the series will mean for London baseball and overseas baseball. And he gave insight on, you know, who he is and why he came to love baseball. So if you guys want to watch that, it's about 45-minute watch. It's a really good watch. Really insightful dude, really great dude. So click off of this, go to our YouTube channel, go to our live, go watch it. Really good watch. But yeah, I mean, that's all I have for you tonight.
I'm going to be tuning into it as well. And shout out to UK Phillies as well for teaming up with these guys for doing it. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. I just saw a little bit of clips, but I haven't watched the full thing through extensive yet. So I'm going to try to tune into it. But shout out to Eric and Brendan for putting that together and UK Phillies for joining. Hopefully,
hey, that's all
we
Brendan.
can do a post game.
I'm not taking any credit for that.
Thank you both for joining. Thank you for Brendan for setting it up. Thank you for UK Phillies for joining. Thank you to Shard for being there. And thank you to the Phillies, the future Phillies, for hopefully winning or sweeping so that we can maybe do a post-game analysis again with them. That would be pretty cool. So stay tuned for that because it's pretty cool to see how deep the Philly fandom runs. Not all cities, I think, have that. And when you meet these people too, what's really cool is a lot of times, not every fan, but a lot of times, most of them will declare the whole city as fandom. Like when I meet people, shout out to Anthony. He's somebody I met, I believe from Wales. Met him at an Eagles game. Super nice, polite Eagles fan. Adopts the whole city. You know what I mean? That's how these foreign Eagles fans are. When they come, they'll say, okay, I'm an Eagles fan, or okay, I'm a Phillies fan. And then they get there, they're like, oh, what are the Eagles? What are the Phillies? Like, what's this other fan base where all you guys while out during the other season of the year? This is how you guys keep it running full time. Okay, this is awesome. I resonate with it. So that's one thing that's really cool about Philly fandom that I was thinking about the other day is it's not just one team a lot of times that these people resonate with, adopt. It's the whole damn city. And we are welcoming of it. Come on board.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Philly fandom as a whole is kind of outreaching to a lot of these different places. I mean, you know, granted, we're Phillies, but Eagles, they're going to Brazil. I mean, you got Jordan Mailata and his outreach in Australia. So, I mean, like, it's just great seeing this outreach, not even for the Phillies, but just all of Philadelphia teams in general, kind of coming together. But yeah, I agree with you. But that's all we have for you guys tonight. Phillies lose 5-2. I'll be on tomorrow probably. Somebody will be here with me. If not, you'll see my face by myself tomorrow. So on that note, guys, everybody have a good night. Eric and Dalt signing off, and we'll